Hello once again, the Math Dog here. So this video we're looking at equivalent fractions and comparing fractions. This is a grade 6 level video. It could be grade 5 and it could actually be grade 7 because you're going to need to be able to work with fractions in grade 7 as well. So this video is not to be shared or reproduced without the written consent of the creator, which is myself, the Math Dog. So first we're going to look at changing improper fractions to mixed numbers and vice versa. So an improper fraction is a fraction where the numerator, which is the top part of the fraction, is greater than the denominator. So there's nothing wrong with an improper fraction, but you do need to know how to change them to mixed numbers. So the way we do this is we divide the bottom into the top, or the denominator and numerator. This will tell us how many whole number times 8 goes into 27, which is 3. So 3 times 8 is 24. We get remainder 3. So my answer is 3 whole parts. My fractional part is 8, and I have 3 fractional parts there. So the answer is 3 3/8. So notice, to convert back to an improper fraction, we can take 3 times 8 plus 3. So we take the whole number parts times the fraction part. There's 8 parts per one whole here. That's what an eighth is. Plus 3 over the denominator 8, which is 27 over 8. Another way to understand what I'm doing here, 3 is the same as 3 over 1. So we have 3 whole parts plus 3/8 fractional parts, and a common denominator here. Least common multiple of 1 and 8 is 8. So this is a shortcut, what I showed right here, but this is what you're doing. That's 24 plus 3, that's 27/8. So convert 6 2/3 to an improper fraction. So again, here I take 6 whole parts times the number of parts in a fraction, 3, plus 2 over 3 gives me 18 plus 2, which is 20 over 3. Again, that's 6 whole parts plus 2/3 fractional parts. That's 6 over 1. 6 over 1. Least common multiple of 1 and 3 is 3. So that makes 18 plus 2, which is 20/3. Alright, stop the video and do these two problems. Convert 33/9 to a mixed number, and then convert 14 5/7 to an improper fraction. Okay, 33/9 to a mixed number. I'm going to divide 9 into 33. It goes 3 whole times. 4 is too big. That's 4 times 9 is 36. So that's 27. 33 minus 27 is 6. And notice this actually could have been reduced. I'll talk about that in a minute. So I get 3 6/9. But 6/9 has a common factor, greatest common factor of 3. So this is 2/3. So this could be written as 3 2/3 in lowest terms. Or before we ever got started, I could have reduced this. 33/9 has a least common multiple, greatest common factor of 3, which is 11/3. And then I could have divided 3 into 11. Goes 3 times 3 is 9, remainder 2. And that is another way of getting 3 2/3 as our mixed number final answer. So now convert 14 5/7 to an improper fraction. Well, what I do is I take 14 times 7 plus 5 over 7. 14 times 7, 4 times 7 is 28, carried to 2. That's 7 and 2 is 9. So that's 98 over 7. Again, you could have done it this way, or think of it this way. This is why the other way works. So the least common multiple of 1 and 7 is 7. So I'm taking 14 times 7 plus 5, which is what I did here, which is 98 over 7. Okay, equivalent fractions. Okay, so you have to do this in order to add or subtract fractions. So the reason I'm showing this is to kind of explain the theory behind this. So I have 2/3 here. This big rectangle equals 1, so this is 2/3 of one big rectangle. I want to break into 12ths. Well, I have to take 3 times 4 is 12, so what I'm doing is I multiply by 4 over 4, which is 1, which will give me 8/12. But what I'm doing here is, so I'm taking each third, because each one of these green rectangles is a third, and I'm breaking it up into 4 equal parts. So what I'm doing here is I am breaking each of those thirds into, actually I should be breaking into fourths, not thirds, but I have thirds to start with. So here I have thirds. Let's change the color of that too so you see what I'm doing better. Let's use those. Alright, so let's do red. So each one of these thirds is being broken into 4 equal parts, like this. So notice, so now everything is in 12ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now 12/12 equals 1, but I only am taking 8 of those, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 over 4 means I'm dividing each third into 4 more parts, which gives me a total of 12 parts equals 1. So in my second example, I have 3/5 equals blank over 15. Well, here is, that big rectangle is 1 whole, so I've shaded in 3 out of 5 parts because I have this big rectangle broken into 5 equal parts. So to go from 3/5 to 15ths, I need to multiply by 3 over 3. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking each one of those fifths into 3 smaller parts. Let's choose black here. So each of those each of the fifths I'm breaking up into 3 more parts. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 total. So 15/15 equals 1 whole. So now 3/5 in terms of 15ths, you can see 3, 6, 9 has to be 9/15. So when you're multiplying, converting the fraction, 3 over 3 means you're breaking each of your fractional parts up into 3 more equal parts. Okay, stop the video, and I want you to do the conversion, and I also want you to figure out how you're going to, if you had to represent this on a chart, what you would do. And then the second problem is 3/7 equals how many 14ths? Alright, so notice to get from fourths to 12ths, I will multiply by 3 over 3. So that's got to be 9/12. And what you're doing here, I'm going to just freehand this one. I'm breaking each one of these rectangles into 3 additional parts. So one big one, the big rectangle is 1, and now this is going to be 12/12. As you can count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's equivalent to 9/12. Excuse me. Now 3/7 break into 14, so that's 2 over 2. So you are splitting each one of those pieces of pie, of which there are 7 of them, originally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're breaking each one of those in half to make 2 more parts. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 14. 3/7 equivalent to 6/14. That's 1. So again, we split everything in half. Those aren't to scale, but so I have a total of 14 parts. 14/14 is equal to 1. So the shaded area is 6/14. Okay, now let's compare fractions. So order 2/5, 3/4, 13/20, and 19/30 from least to greatest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the least common multiple of 5, 4, 20, and 30. And I'll get a least common denominator. That's how you can compare these fractions. So 5 is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, etc. If you can do this in your head, go ahead. I'm just doing the long way here to show you how it works. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64, etc. 20 is going to be 20, 40, 60. So 60 is looking pretty good here, and then 30 and 60. So this is a very lengthy way to do it, but I'm demonstrating why this works. So 60 is going to be our least common denominator or multiple here. Again, notice that 5 goes into 60 12 times. 5 goes 6 once. Bring down the 0 here. 5 goes to 10 twice. 2 times 5 is 10. 4 goes into 60. 4 goes to 6 once. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract, bring down to 0. 4 goes to 25 times. 5 times 4 is 20. That's 0. 20 goes into 60 3 times. And 30 goes into 60 2 times. So if you can do that mentally, go ahead and do it. But I'm just showing you what the process is. So now what we're going to do is we have 2/5 equals blank over 60. Well, 5 times 12 is 60, so 2 times 12 is 24. So 2/5 is 24/60. 3/4 is, okay, 4 times 15 is 60, so 3 times 15 is 45. So 45 is bigger than 24, obviously. So then 13/20 multiplied by 3 over 3, that's 39 over 60. Okay, so that's in between the other two. And finally 19/30 multiply by 2 over 2, that's 38/60. So this, we have 2/5 is this, we'll go from least to greatest. So there's our smallest, number 1. Number 2 is here, 19/30. 3 is 39/60, and 4 is this. So 2/5 is less than 19/30. Again, remember the inequality sign opens up to larger numbers, points to the smaller one. Then 13/20 and 3/4. So those are our 4 numbers, 4 fractions ordered from smallest to largest. All right, stop the video and order the numbers from least to greatest using inequality signs. All right, looking at this, hopefully you can see that the least common multiple is 18, or least common denominator. Okay, if you didn't, you could list 3. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, etc. Okay, then 6 is 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, etc. Then 9 is going to be 9, 18, 27, etc. And 18 is 18, 36, etc. But notice 18 is our least common multiple there. So that's our least common denominator. So 5, 6 is blank over 18. That's 6 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. So then 7/18 is already an 18th, so I don't need to do anything with that. Okay, then 2/3 is blank over 18. 3 times 6 is 18, so 2 times 6 is 12. And then we have 7/9. Well, that's 2 over 2. That's 14/18. So in terms of least to greatest, our smallest number is 7/18, 1. Our next smallest number is 2/3. Our next smallest number is 14/18, which is 7/9. And then the largest one is 5, 6. So from smallest to greatest here, we have 7/18 is less than 2/3, which is less than 7/9, which is less than 5 over 6. And this concludes the video.